I want to start this video off by saying I don't believe any of this bullshit. I don't believe that Charlie was killed solely by just Tyler magically having good luck on that day and Charlie just having bad luck on that day. So you mean to tell me there was not just a security failure with his own top tier, high paid private security, but the school security also failed on that day. But then so did the cameras and pretty much every other precaution. There was no medical tent, there was no ambulance. So, how in the world did everything just magically fail and it all just windfalled and benefited some autistic gay kid that humps on another boy that's a pretend furry allegedly? It just magically gave him the perfect set of events to pull off one of the most, I don't know, heinous and widely viewed live assassinations our nation's ever seen. I don't buy it. I don't believe it. And these security guards, how are you an ex-cop, ex-Marine, but you're fidgety? Those guys are those men. I've met those men. They're cute. They're cool as a cucumber, unless they're lying. Let's listen to this breakdown.
I want to start with chilling new details that have come to light about Charlie Kirk's assassination, coming from the head of Charlie's security team. This man is Brian Harpole. He sat down with podcaster Sean Ryan for almost 3 hours, opening up about everything that unfolded that day.
Also, I don't like Sean Ryan answering questions for this man and covering for him. Sean, you weren't even there. You weren't even a part of the security detail. Who are you to fill in gaps for anyone? But I'll let him finish.
He also spoke about the feeling that he had in the lead up to September 10. 2 days before the speaking event at Utah Valley University, the day that Charlie was taken from us in the most evil way possible, Brian Harpole was worried. Brian Harpole is a former Navy SEAL, he's a former police officer, and he became aware that some of the rooftops were easily accessible. So what did he do? He contacted the UVU police chief, Jeff Long, asking him directly if one of his security guards could be stationed at the doors to block it. Here he is reading the word-for-word text message exchange between them.
Monday before, this correspondence went to Chief Long. Hello, Chief Long. We received this message today from the student group. There is a student roof access pretty close to where CK will be set up at the Utah Valley. The Sorensen Center has a couple of staircases that go up to walkways on the roofs. He comes back, and for edification, the Sorensen Center was the building in front of the Lucy Center. And so he comes back, he says, you want access to the roof? And came back and said, I was told students have access above us. If this is true, it would be nice to either have it controlled access or allow one of my guys to be there as well, if possible. He comes back, and his last correspondence was, I got you covered.
That's all that he needed to say. You're the paid security. You are the guard. You are the one with a team. You're the one with the cool fucking sunglasses on. What do you mean you're asking a random school chief, a school police officer who is not paid privately directly by Charlie Kirk or TPUSA? Why are you? He's giving you short, damn near 2 or 3 word answers. He told you, I got you. You asked, can it be a controlled access or at least just allow one of my guys to go up there? And what did he say? I got you. Basically, green light. Put one of your guys up there. You should have had a spotter on the fucking roof. He would still be here right now. He'd still be alive. Maybe, maybe not. I don't believe he was shot by a sniper rifle. None of the evidence confirms that. I watched it happen in slow motion. I saw the man go like this. I saw his shirt jerk up. I saw something underneath his shirt. I saw a pellet or something that was probably aimed to go this way shifted as he was moving, and it talked. And it moved a little bit, and when it shot, instead of going up, it went here, hit him here. No sniper required. No gay humping on a fucking furry did it with a 1939 rifle from the Civil fucking War. You mean to tell me he was able to get a perfect angle, perfect shot, but you have Blackwater type security on the ground who are supposed to patrol all points and watch for everything, but you didn't see some guy crawling up on the roof? Because there probably wasn't a guy on the roof. And when this security guard said, I got you covered, that means go ahead. I got you in American lingo means we're good. Go for it. You offered what you wanted to do. After you said, hey, could we make it so that there's controlled access to the roof, or allow one of my guys to go up there? That's a either yay or nay type of question. He gave you a yay. How dare you try to put that on the UVU security now after the fact? He told you, I got you. That means you do what you want to do. Do your thing. If you want to put 10 guys on the roof, go for it. If you want to put a midget in a trash can on the roof, you can do it. On Tim Pool, he made a good point. If even a janitor was on the roof that day, allegedly, Charlie Kirk would still be alive. We saw what happened to Trump and Butler when a roof 150 yards away wasn't watched or protected. People in the audience were like, hey, there's a guy on the roof crawling around. But you mean to tell me, even when we just had almost an assassination of our current president in Butler, Pennsylvania, about a year before, almost exactly, after seeing that security failure, you mean to tell me this security team, this paid security team, their number one concern wasn't not just to watch the audience in front of us, but to also make sure we're on the roof and we're watching all the different vantage points and angles? This isn't the first time we've had a sniper. This isn't the first shooting. This isn't the first gun. We're Americans. We're used to hearing gunshots. That wasn't a gunshot, and we all heard it. It was a clap. It sounded like an air-actuated pellet gun. It wasn't no pow like a gun. We know what guns sound like. We literally watch ballistic videos every day on YouTube. None of those bullets are turning into fragments when they hit a spine. Okay, these bullets are turning flat when they're hitting metal. They hit concrete. We watch ballistics and people shooting shit every day. Bullets are not just all of a sudden they get into the human body and it just explodes into 1,000 pieces. Whoops, we can't recover it now. That's a lie. That doctor is lying. And I resent the fact that even after what we saw happen in 2020 and 2021, people will still lean on a word of a doctor, knowing that these doctors can be paid or blackmailed into saying or writing down whatever they're told to. I don't trust none of them. An independent autopsy should have been performed, not a quick one, a poor post-mortem examination, basically, where he's saying, well, yeah, something's in there. Go ahead and box him up and get him out of here now. Put him on a plane back to Arizona on Air Force 2 with JD fucking Vance. You mean the guy that's going to marry his wife, Erica Kirk Vance, in a couple of years? Bro, this is ridiculous. And for him to try to throw it on some low-level, lonely security guy from the fucking school, that's not his job. He's there to watch for students. This is a private event you guys are hosting. You should have had 3 spotters on the roof. You're paid enough, you can afford it. But you want to throw it and pretend like it was some mistake that the local police, they're not paid to be there. There's already free police everywhere. He paid you. You're private security. I've been someone's security. I've hired armed security. I've been to events where I've had people who were there with me. You had one guy walking with me. You had another guy that was at an elevated position looking at different vantage points because, guess, I'm on stage. They're watching to see who else is watching me and from what angles. I'm barely anybody. I'm paying these guys $4,000. This security team, I'm sure, is being paid $20,000+ a day every time they do an event. Security, even Tim Pool, he'll tell his securities $10,000 a day just to go to one event. $10,000. And you mean to tell me with all that money you're paying, all that manpower, when I seen that swarm of guys wearing their shades all jump over that table, one guy jumped over the table, didn't even look at Charlie. He ran up to one of the other guys in the group, exchanged something, and took off. Didn't even look down at, none of them took off their glasses to get a better look at the injury. They didn't even do that. It just seems like they were doing a mock simulation of, okay, what happens if there's an attempt on Charlie? What's going to be our procedure? Well, okay, we're going to do a test. We're going to do a test run. It seems like they all figured this was like a fake test run, and Charlie was in on it, and they scoot him away. They didn't even act like this was a real situation. None of them, again, nobody took off their black, dark shades to get a better look at the injury so they can try to stop the bleeding of a carotid artery. Nobody even tried. Nobody. But you want me to believe it was a failure of the school police. Yeah, all right.
What else am I to do?
How about you do your fucking job? That guy's not being paid by Charlie. You are. If he screws up, that's none of your business. You're supposed to do your job plus his. You're the security. It's your job to keep him alive. Oh, well, there's a lot of good men losing their careers. You guys should deserve you deserve your careers to be lost. How do you call yourself a good security guard if your client dies? Matter of fact, what even makes a good security guard? Is it every time you go somewhere and no one makes an attempt on this person, so you get credit for them being protected? Or does that make you a security guard that's as good? Or you're a good security guard because there's constantly different people taking attempts on the life of your client and you're able to keep them alive through different events? I think that's how you can tell if somebody's a good security guard, because there's someone trying to kill him and you keep him alive. But if this is the first attempt on Charlie's life and you failed, I wouldn't say any of you guys were good security guards. You guys were a bunch of bums. I remember there was this one security guard in LA that everybody's hiring him, a big dude. And I remember we went to a club, and some random guy that he had pushed to get out of the way of the celebrity he was guarding that night, the guy he pushed whooped his ass. Nobody booked that guy anymore. We just watched the security guard get beat up. That's not the kind of security you need. So any of the guys involved that failed for protecting Charlie Kirk, they don't need to have careers in the first place. They suck. They couldn't keep their client alive. That means you're a bad security. You're not good security. There's a difference. Just because no one's ever tried nothing on Charlie until that day, so you kept him alive. It's like paying for insurance even though you've never been in an accident. Okay, how good is your insurance once you get into a crash? That's how you know if it's a good insurance company. So when someone takes a shot at Charlie and he lives because of your security measures, that's how you know you're good security. That means so technically you are a horrible. You get an F on your report card.
I got you covered. I mean, it is so hard to hear that. According to Brian Harpole, no one from UVU ever ended up being assigned to check the roofs or be stationed at the doors, and no one from his team was allowed access. I mean, it is
nobody stopped his team from accessing the roofs, and the guard from the school that he talked to never said he was going to put people there. Remember, Charlie Security said, can we make it access only, or can we put our own people up there. He said, I got you. You can do whatever you want. That guy from the school police never said he was putting anyone on the roof. So you guys are misinterpreting what was said, and I don't understand why.
Unbelievable. And as we know, just minutes into the speaking event on September 10, a single shot was fired from a rooftop. Here is Brian speaking about that exact moment.
I remember I heard the gunfire, and then I don't know if you've heard this, but I heard that bullet slap him. And so you hear two sounds actually. And so you hear the actual shot, and then you hear the bullet hit him in the neck, like you hear it.
He went on to describe how the security team jumped around Charlie, giving him cover within seconds, not knowing if there were more shots about to be fired.
We don't know what they did around Charlie. We know one guy slid across the table like he was sliding on the hood of a car in Miami Vice, and then he didn't even look at Charlie. He exchanged something with one of these guys, and he took off. That's what we know. We know these guys surrounded Charlie. They turned him on the side of the hole in his neck, like they're trying to dump whatever was in the fluid. They're trying to pour it out. Like he should have been rolled on the other side. That way the hole is facing away from the ground so you can retain his fluid, not so that you can dump it out. Watch the video closely. These are the most incompetent, idiot security guards, or they did this maliciously and on purpose. I'll be honest, I do not think grown men like this who have military training and old police officers, they don't make mistakes like this. They don't. The least they could have done is push Charlie down and turn him on his side so that the wound is not facing the ground and just dumping out Charlie's fluids. Come on. Is that too basic to believe? I've seen people with better reactions to paper cuts than to these pain, ex-Marine, ex-security, blah, blah, blah. These guys fucking suck. They're bums. Or a year from now, there's going to be a deposit of $800,000 into all their bank accounts out of the blue from some kind of foundation that was set up in their names before Charlie was even gone. So that way they can explain the money away. That's how these things work, you know? These people are actors. And what's the number one thing you better make sure you always do? You pay your talent. These guys suck, by the way. You should definitely get a discount on how much you're paying them.
So I initially dove down on top of him and just was on him almost face to face. And then when I was doing that, I went down, I could see the wound. And so I immediately shoved my hand into the wound.
He's lying. At no point in time did he remove his glasses. Also, Charlie was turned. We have the footage of when he hit the ground. He was on his side, where if there was anything in his neck, it would have leaked out. It would have poured out. But they didn't do that. That side was facing down. His other side of his neck that this guy would have been able to see was closed. It was fine. This is all he would have been able to see. He wouldn't have been able to see this side. He's lying. And Charlie was on the ground for 8-9 seconds before they picked him up like a rag doll and drug him away. Magically, there's no bleeding during that entire time. Not even any blood on the concrete. You know, it's crazy. Everybody was telling Candace to stop talking about this. Even Tim Pool. Then, even though Tim Pool followed their lead and stopped talking about it and shamed Candace, he gets kicked off of the AmFest tour. People are now starting to see that no matter what you do, you're going to be screwed anyway. We might as well finally start talking about the actual evidence. So now everybody who was talking shit about Candace, now they're trying to do exactly what she is doing, which is asking smart questions. You know, out of fear, these people were wanting to be quiet, but now they're seeing that you're screwed if you say something, you're screwed if you don't. You might as well speak up. So at least they're talking about this. This is Sky News in Australia. This isn't even on an American channel. And I'm just some nobody on the internet complaining. But we're talking about it. Thousands of people are going to watch my video. Thousands of people are never going to be able to unhear what I'm saying. They're going to go back and look at the footage and they're going to think about it and they're going to talk about it. And that's the whole purpose of this. That's why I said, fuck Steven Crowder telling people, Candace is this, Candace, shut up. Don't watch her then. Don't like what Candace is talking about, then don't watch her. But don't tell other people not to watch her. I watch who the hell I want to watch. Oh, she's turning it into a true crime. It is a true crime. They lied to us. We're watching the evidence. We're not completely idiots. We're dumb enough to let an invasion happen around us and not say nothing, but we're not that dumb. We're going to let one of our most prolific speakers in our lifetimes get assassinated and not ask questions. He was a good man. These are ridiculous.
Stop the bleeding, just trying to find the pressure, and it was coming out still, and I'm on top of him, like close, and it was still coming out enough that I guess it squirted through my fingers and I could taste it on my lips.
Never happened. He didn't have any blood on his face. He didn't have any blood on his hands. We watched these guys. We watched them scoot away. We watched them. None of them got blood over them. None of them were covered in blood. They tried to say that the McCoy kid, Mikey, whatever the fuck his name was, oh, he was covered in blood. No, he wasn't. Soon as they heard that, it wasn't a gunshot. It was a clip, pow, like a pat, not like a gunshot. It was like a pellet gun. As soon as they heard that, he put the earpiece in his ear and he walked the hell away and he never went back. And they tried to swear he was covered in blood. He was covered in cowardice. He was covered in fear. He wasn't covered in blood. All these people are trying to rewrite history like we can't just watch it for ourselves. They're all liars, all of them.
He ordered his team to prep the car, but when he looked at Charlie, he knew he wasn't going to make it.
But it's fast to get an initial assessment, plug a hole, pick them up, move them.
Yeah, and so it's just like, dang. And it's some horrible realities of it too, that like I told the guys this and I haven't.
You shut up. Ex-cops, ex-military, you've seen death. Don't sit up here and quiver with your hands like I'm new, bro. People, you've worked scenes. Shut up. All this lying and all this exaggerating, all this, now I'm a victim and these other people did this. Shut up. We're not buying it. We know better. I know better. These are adult, grown men. If you were going to cry about Charlie dying, you would have done it the day after. After that, after that sadness for men, it turns into anger. He wouldn't be sitting here fidgeting. He'd be sitting here like me, pissed. Am I crying about Charlie still? No. Now I'm mad. I'm mad because they're lying to us. I'm mad because he deserves better. Not even his goddamn wife is even talking about it. Everyone's moved on. I haven't. Candace hasn't. His real friends and supporters haven't. The viewers haven't. The people that are sharing my videos haven't. But this guy wants to shake with his hands. He's not literally trying to figure out how to break into the prison to get to Tyler. He didn't really care. These guys are all bad actors, all of them.
When I jumped down on him, he had doll's eyes. And so I was like, man, these are wounds incompatible with life.
You know.
Yeah.
You want to take a break?
It is so heartbreaking. We know that 22-year-old Tyler Robinson has been charged with aggravated murder. UVU says it's in the process of an independent review into what happened. But 10 weeks on, there are still many, many unanswered questions about the failures of that day, the day we lost an American hero.
Free Tyler Robinson. I don't even have to say free him. We will be exonerated. There is not enough evidence here to fucking even charge him. Remember, they didn't catch him in a manhunt. They didn't track him from the crime. He's sitting down eating lunch with his dad, and his dad was like, wait a minute, that guy on the TV kind of looks like my son. Then he called the kid's mother. Then they were like, yeah, the guy kind of does look like him. And then they called the police and turned him in. They didn't capture him. They didn't find him like a manhunt. There was no, what's the movie, The Fugitive with Wesley Snipes? We're going to check every outhouse, back house, in-house, roundhouse, church, bed. None of that happened. None of them. Tyler Robinson was turned in. That wasn't exceptional work by the FBI. So you mean to tell me this man was able to get off one shot and nobody saw him stand up and start walking? And the camera footage from that day, they tell you that they only got footage of him walking and jumping off the roof. What about the footage of him taking the shot? You got cameras everywhere, right? Oh, those cameras were off that. Oh, they were offline. Those cameras didn't work. Oh, I guess we should just believe that too, right? I got a bridge in Kentucky that goes all the way to Brooklyn that I was hoping you'd like to put a down payment on. Like we can do a timeshare. I have a timeshare of a bridge to Brooklyn from Kentucky. I'd like to interest you in. I don't think anybody's buying this bullshit. But as Americans, we feel helpless. Like, well, what can I do? Well, you can do one thing that other people in other countries can. Well, Australia, I guess they can, but the rest of the world can't do, which is you can speak out freely about these situations. You know, you can't even type in the UK about this stuff, but I can. So I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for us. America first, but Americans first. We lost an American hero, like she said. And look at the bullshit surrounded him. And now this brings up more questions. They should have did this interview the day after. He should have been talking, but someone coached him. Someone is making sure he only says certain things. The whole security team didn't get together to do a joint interview with Sean Ryan. They didn't get together and do an interview with Candace Owens, who had a lot of questions. They're going to places where they're going to get softball questions, and another grown man's going to pretend to coddle you. Man, the fuck up and answer the questions. This is just so embarrassing and disgusting. It just pisses me off. I mean, Charlie deserved better. He deserved way better than this. And you know what? You know who's doing him justice? Candace. That's the best we have right now. The rest of us, we're going to just echo her words and her sentiment, but we're not going anywhere. We're going to figure this out. You know, that's what justice looks like nowadays. You know, at least it's just, at least you know. I'm not expecting an entire country that was behind this to go to prison. But we, the people, we know. And and when the time comes and when we're in charge, then we'll get our justice against this country. Share the video. I'll see you guys when you come back. I'm sorry, I'm just pissed off right now, so I don't really want to talk too much. I'll be back after. I'm going to go have some lunch and cool off, and then I'll see you guys in a little bit. America first, America only.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.